How to find the hottest zip codes and best areas for wholesaling real estate this year. If you're looking to find the best places to wholesale real estate, so when you go market to a type of property in this area, you know you have the best chance of getting a wholesaling deal. I can tell you from personal experience in helping hundreds of thousands of new wholesalers, being in the right market and being in the right zip codes and areas in that market can be the thing between working 2 hours to get a wholesaling deal or working 20 hours to get that deal. Real estate is all about location, location, location. You've heard it a million times, and it is absolutely true for real estate wholesaling. If you're not in the right areas, you are not going to be set up for success. So this is why in this video, I want to break down how to find the best areas for wholesaling houses so you can have the best success. Before I break down exactly a $4,000 mini course on wholesaling right here, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first question we have to ask ourselves is what makes a good area for wholesaling and what makes a bad area for wholesaling? Honestly, what makes a good area for wholesaling is if you market there and you get deals locked up under contract, you can usually sell them for a good price and they sell very easy, and there's a ton of motivated sellers in that area. I kind of attribute it to fishing. If you're going to be in a good fishing pond or a bad fishing pond, there's a lot of fish and they bite, right? That's it. You might have a lot of really good ugly houses in an area, but if no cash buyers want to buy it, it's definitely not a good spot or area for wholesaling real estate. Honestly, what I've found in pretty much every single city in the United States, there's something what we call the sweet spot, where in any city in the United States, this is going to be that area that is that sweet spot where cash buyers love to buy it. There's a ton of motivated sellers wanting to get rid of the property, and you're going to get the best discounts. So I call it the sweet spot because you get the best discounts and you have the most buyers possible. All the landlord buyers who are going to rent out properties are here. All the people looking to flip starter homes are here. This is the sweet spot. And the sweet spot is basically two distinct categories that we want to mix in together. These are going to be low crime areas in your city that are also have low prices or low ARVs. Now, most places in the United States, when you look at a city or a metro market, there are 5 distinct neighborhoods. On the top end, what we call is the super luxury. These are beachfront mansions. These are crazy, huge, multi-million-dollar luxury properties. And on the low end, we have higher crime areas where this is just in every metro market where most of the crime happens are in very small pockets. And these are areas where there's usually high crime. These are usually by a downtown region where a lot of people gather because if there are a lot of people there, there's gonna be more crime there. And then in between there is sort of where you want to go. There's areas where crime's lower, but there still is some crime and the prices are pretty low too. Now, what I've seen in most cities is when the crime's really high, the prices are dirt cheap, but still a lot of people don't want to rent out properties there or buy houses there because if you're flipping a house, your house can get broken into. It's not good. And from personal experience, as somebody that's flipped a lot of houses in high crime areas, I've had a lot of my flips get broken into and it's cost me a lot of money and sometimes it's not worth the headache. Now, this isn't because you can't wholesale there. These are great what we call Section 8 buyers, which are people buying it for Section 8. They get money from the government to rent out to people with lower income. And a lot of real estate investors make a lot of money with that. And it's a great service for the community. But for wholesaling, it's not where the most money's at. Because when these properties are selling for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you can't make big spreads on them. Now, the neighborhoods in between, right? You got second to top. Those are upper middle class neighborhoods. These are houses that are they're luxury, but they're not crazy big mansions. And the last two are really what we like. Below the upper middle class is basically what we call the middle class neighborhoods. And this is the sweet spot, right? Because below the middle class neighborhoods are the areas where there's a little more crime, but not as bad. And prices are still very low. And then above the middle class is the upper middle class, which is a little too luxury. It's a little harder to wholesale. But in between there, number 3 is the perfect Goldilocks zone. This is going to be the zone where there's low crime and low prices. And really the way you should be looking at it is if you're looking at an area in your real estate market where they have the lowest prices and go by each zip code and find which one has the lowest crime with the lowest prices, that's gonna be the best area for wholesaling in your market. Now, between you and me, how do you find this information? It's actually not as difficult as you think. Your competition doesn't even really look at it, but all you really gotta do is just go to your local sheriff's department or police department and ask on the non-emergency line if you can get statistics of crime in the city and see where crime's happening in each zip code, and then figure out what the median home price is for that zip code. So you can just search like Tulsa, Oklahoma median home price and do it by zip code. You can figure that out pretty quick. And then all you really got to do is figure out where the highest crime is, where the lowest crime is, and the prices per one. And you're going to figure out very quick which areas have the lowest prices and the lowest crime together. These are what we call working class blue collar neighborhoods. It's where the janitors live, teachers, car mechanics, really that working class neighborhood where people are working these blue collar jobs that are essential to running a big city because people are raising their kids there. There's not a lot of crime crime. It's great. And the prices aren't too high, which means we can wholesale there. That's where you get the best chance of finding good wholesaling real estate deals. So we know where in a city to find the best areas and zip codes for wholesaling, but where do I find the best markets for virtual wholesaling if I'm going to do virtual wholesaling? Honestly, I kind of said it before, but there is a Goldilocks zone. So if you haven't heard about Goldilocks, you can look it up at the fairy tale. And really what it means is you want to find a virtual wholesaling market that's not too expensive or not too small. It's got to be in a perfect area where you can get really good discounts on the property, but you also want to make sure you can find a lot of cash buyers. And it's a little difficult to get a really good discount and then have a lot of buyers together. That's a hard mix to do. But there are two criteria I have found that makes it a Goldilocks virtual wholesaling market. This is when the city population in your virtual wholesaling market you're looking for is above 50,000 people. When I found over 50,000 people in a market like this, that means there's enough cash buyers looking to buy the property, rent it out, fix and flip it, and all these other things. It's a good market with it, which has a lot of great activity. But on the flip end like that, we want to make sure the market's not too expensive. So I can do Los Angeles, California, for example, where yes, the population's there. There's a lot of investor activity, but the prices are so high, it's hard for me to get a really good discount. Rule of thumb for everybody watching this, the higher the price of something, the harder it is to get a discount. So if I want to get a 30% discount off $1 million house, a seller's going to say, no, I'm not going to give $300,000 of equity away for you just because you asked. But if I try to get a 30% discount on a $100,000 house, that's only $30,000 in equity. And hey, sellers statistically and psychologically are more willing to sell for that price. So I found the median home price you want to stay below is around $400,000. So if you don't know what your median home price is, let's say you live in Phoenix, Arizona, just search Phoenix, Arizona space median home price space Zillow, and it'll show you what the median home price in your city is going to be. So if you can mix it together where the population of the city is above 50,000, or if you're doing a county, make sure the county population is over 100,000, and make sure the median home price is below 400,000 for that city and or county. That's going to be the best areas for wholesaling real estate. Now, these are markets in areas like Fort Wayne, Indiana, Dayton, Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, Milwaukee, where prices are pretty good, but also the population is strong enough. And also a big tip, if you can find these two areas that are in the Goldilocks zone and they're by a military base, those are usually the ones that are the strongest with recession. These are places like Columbus, Georgia, and Fayetteville, North Carolina, where there's a big military institution in that city, where there's going to be plenty of demand for people trying to buy houses in that area, because the military is always going to be spending money, even in a recession or not a recession. Now, on top of all this stuff, there's actually 4 other specific ways I want to break down right now of actually how to pinpoint in your own local market the best area for wholesaling real estate. It's going to sound stupid simple, but these are hacks that most people have to pay thousands of dollars to learn. Number 1 right here is just asking your cash buyers. Now remember, in wholesaling real estate, our cash buyers are buying our wholesaling deals. They're our customers. They're buying our contract, our equitable interest in the deal for a big $15, $20, $25, even $30,000 assignment fee. Duh, we want to ask them where they're looking to buy. If I have a customer and he pays $1,000 every single time for whatever I have in my shop, and I want him to get him to keep buying more, I'm gonna ask him, hey, what are you looking to buy? I'm going to give what he wants. I might ask my cash buyers like, hey, what area are you looking to buy more properties at? Oh, I'm looking for 3 2s or 2 2s in this zip code or in this area, but avoid this area. Most cash buyers, in my opinion, will tell you the areas they don't want to buy versus the areas they do want to buy. So create a little buy box for them and figure out what they want and what they don't want. And you actually go after those areas and pinpoint it. You don't have to spend hours and hours finding the perfect area and zip code for them. Honestly, all you really got to do is just ask them where they want to buy and then give them deals in that area. Number 2, this is a really big one too, but go after where the rental properties are at. You'll find in your city and county, there's specific areas, especially those working class neighborhoods, where there's just a lot of rental properties, because a lot of people in working class jobs, maybe they can't afford real estate right now or to buy a house currently, and they rent out properties. And usually a lot of those rentals are going to be in those working class areas. So if you can find the rental properties and where a big pocket of them are in a given city, that's probably going to be a good area where a lot of landlords are looking to buy. And heck, you can even call the landlords up and see where they're looking to buy, and you can sell your wholesaling deals to them in those areas. On top of that too, I do have a super sneaky special tactic that is considered cheating, but it's actually legit and real. But this is called reverse engineering your competition, or stealing your competition's areas. Now, I have a lot of competition in my real estate market and I destroy pretty much all of them, but still sometimes I like to find what areas are working currently. So if I'm going to go wholesale in a new city and I want to know what the best areas are, I'm going to find the top wholesalers in that market and watch them brag about their deals. I have a lot of wholesalers that will say, yo, I just closed a $20,000 deal. Here's my check. check, and they got the check in their hand and they're like, yeah, and they got the address on the check. Or they'll brag about what deal they just made $40,000 on. They'll give you the address to show they're legit. What I like to do is actually look at the address and figure out what area that property is at. And number one, I like to look up who the actual cash buyer is and then steal their cash buyer, which is something that's completely ethical and legal to do. And that's a big one I love doing. I'll tell you guys right now to do. But number two is when they brag about 5 or 10 deals, I'll figure out that 80% of their deals are in like 2 zip codes. And then I figure out, hey, that's the hot area for wholesaling in this market, and I'm going to go after it. I actually did this tactic when I first started virtual wholesaling in Knoxville, Tennessee, and it helped me a lot finding the best areas for wholesaling. And last but not least, this is probably one of the other sneaky ones I can tell you to do, but in your own city, there's probably 3 or 4 really big title companies for wholesaling real estate specifically that are real estate investing friendly and assignment friendly title companies. All you honestly got to do is if you've done some deals or you're looking to do some deals with that title company, just frankly ask them, what areas are you finding the most wholesaling deals at? I want to make sure I can find and market to the best zip codes and areas for wholesaling, and I want to do deals and send the deals over to you. What zip codes have you found the most wholesaling transactions done in the title company for the past couple months here? And your title company is not really giving up any personal information. They can just give you the zip codes and areas, and they want to help you out, have success, because when you're successful, they close deals with you and they get paid too. So they're usually going to give you that information. On top of that too, you can also ask your title company for a list of the top cash buyers that are buying with them, or if they're not comfortable with that, tell them to potentially ask cash buyers if you can get connected with them, and you can find more cash buyers like that. And those are sneaky special ways for you to find the best areas that most gurus won't tell you, because first of all, they're broke and they don't know how to, and number two, they usually hide these behind big masterminds or coaching packages are the ones that actually know this information. But I'm here to give the power to the people for you to find the best areas for wholesaling so you can have the best success for selling your wholesaling real estate deals and locking them up in the best areas possible. Now, if you want to learn more exactly how to market to sellers, actually how to find cash buyers even more, just go to my free real estate wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. And if you got any value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what ways you have found to find the best areas and zips in your markets. I would love to know. And this is Zach signing out. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.